Europe consumes 50% more fish than the United States, yet, despite a Commission initiative, its aquaculture industry has stagnated, and the EU imports 2/3 of the fish it consumes, while Norway exports 97%. How can the gap be bridged? What will it take to boost output? And has the Commission's new strategy got it right this time? Europeans eat 5 million tonnes of farmed fish every year, 2/3 of it imported. Demand is increasing, but output isn't, despite a Commission strategy launched in 2002, since when growth has stagnated. But was it the best way forward anyway?
On one hand, we can, I think, look into improved strategies for production in Europe, but on the other hand, we should really be more proactive in getting involved in aquaculture production outside Europe.
Students from around the world come to the University of Ghent to study fish virology, nutrition and other aspects of aquaculture. Many industry insiders think European countries should cooperate, not compete, but they fear that won't happen unless the Commission gets tough.
The cooperation, the best management practices, those absolutely need to be led and driven by the Commission rather than saying to a certain extent we would like the member states to do something, but effectively they're not going to necessarily do it on their own.
Each member state has different rules, and even within the European Commission, responsibility for aquaculture is spread across several departments, including trade, health and environment. Although aquaculture has more in common with farming, WTO rules class it alongside traditional fisheries, despite its different needs.
If we say that our goal is really to provide a high-quality, safe, health, nutritious product for the European consumer, that would be our goal, which is slightly different to, shall we say, the target of the common fisheries policy, which has been conservation and control mechanisms.
Aquaculture has its problems. Industrial pollution can make shellfish more susceptible to infection, and controlling disease and pollution are issues. 80% of industry executives recently voted that more should be done to improve its reputation. With global demand set to double by 2030, boosting output means allowing the industry to compete for clean water, not just putting it where the jobs are scarce.
We're not using to our best advantage and the best environmental capacity the sites that we actually have at present. And we do have these problems of access to new sites. So I believe that if the political will changes, if the legislation is simplified to an extent that allows and favours new investment, then it can increase.
Salmon farming in Scotland. European consumers prefer carnivorous fish, and they have to be fed fish meal and oils. The ratio of feed to the weight of fish harvested varies by species, but is improving. It's not the same everywhere, though, and the report before Parliament urges protection for European producers.
Europe has been very active on promoting very strong legislation to protect the European consumer. Now, our argument is that if we are going to compete fairly with imports, we have to be on a level playing field.
But others who foresee greater European involvement in aquaculture overseas fear a negative effect if we close the door too firmly.
We import 65% and we make imports impossible. Who will feed our people in Europe? I'm not saying that we have to reduce our safety and other environmental issues, but we should do it a proactive way.
Clearer, simpler labelling would ensure consumers are better informed when choosing fish, but increasing Europe's market share and output may require more than the carrot of profits. It may need the stick of firm Europe-wide legislation.